What if every brawler had a third star power? Let's find out, cause I'm gonna be making all these by myself. For Shelly, I decided to give her unload speed 20% faster. When using the star power, Nida's bear gains 10% more movement speed. Cold's main attack now does 1000 more damage altogether. Any player in Bull's super path now gets pushed along with him. Brock's main attack explodes when it comes into contact with a player, dealing 750 damage from burn damage. If El Primo hits all his 3 ammo onto a 1 player, he stuns them for 0.3 seconds. Any player hit by Barley's main attack gets slowed for 0.2 seconds as they are intoxicated. Poco's main attack and super is 50% larger and wider. Rosa fertilized her super and it lasts for 2 seconds more now. Jesse's turret now becomes a thrower and does an extra 150 damage with each shot. Dynamite reloads 0.4 of his ammo whenever he hits a player with his main attack. Tick throws out 4 mini-mines instead of 3. Whenever 8-bit eliminates a player, they explode and deal 1500 damage to nearby players. Every time Rico's main attack bounces off an object, it deals an extra 400 damage. Daryl's super range is increased by 40%. Penny gets a 35% speed boost for 5 seconds after eliminating a player. When using the star power, Carl's super is able to break walls. Groundbreaker sends players airborne, which stops them from using their main attack. Spooky does not allow attacks which range is below 3.5 tiles to attack Gus. M's hairspray has 2 extra ticks. Stu's ammo becomes 1 big bar with 30 total ammo, each dealing 290 damage. With this star power active, Piper's main attack becomes 1 ammo and it shoots out all 3 bullets one after the other. Frank's third star power now allows him to launch and smash his hammer into players when he is using his main attack and super, which makes it easier to land his hits. Nani's projectile will home in if the player is 0.5 tiles of the missed light orbs. Using his super, Edgar lands head first into players using his super, stunning them for 1.4 seconds. The maximum number of bounces by Belle's main attack go from 3 to 6, so it increases by 3. Ash gets his rage meter filled completely for 4 seconds after eliminating a player. In exchange of receiving 5% more damage from all sources, his reload speed and movement speed is 20% faster. This new star power now makes Angelo reload and unloading speed decrease by 25%. Bo's super now combines all the 3 mines together to make a bigger mine. It does the same damage but is easier to hit enemies now. All teammates nearby Pam will recover 100 HP and 0.3 ammo every 0.5 seconds. BB's super now can bounce off players and will also slow them for 2 seconds. The number of banknotes Griff throws out when he uses his super is increased by 2. Ground super now curves, something like Spike's curveball. Bonnie's Loof Tooth now pierces players and the tooth speed is increased by 21%. Gale's super now leaves behind a snow barricade that has 1100 HP that slowly loses health. The minimum damage dealt by any of her attacks to players increased by 15%. Lola's ego does 11% more damage while Lola's movement speed is 6% faster. Sam throws his Knuckle Buster 54% faster and deals 640 more damage. After standing still and being focused, Mandy can move where her focus is slowly lost over 5 seconds. The extra range Mandy gets when she is focused is slowly lost over the 5 seconds as well. Macy's super pushes players further back. If they hit a wall, they'll get stunned for 1.8 seconds as well. Pearl's super is slightly bigger and her next main attack has 7% more damage. Since Larry and Laurie is already so overpowered, might as well make them more overpowered. Larry and Laurie slows down players for 0.3 seconds when damaged by either Larry or Laurie. If Gene's main attack did not hit a player, his main attack splits up and spreads the damage in a circle instead of a cone. Max gains a shield of 1% of her health every 1 second while she is moving. Mr. P's Roboporter's movement speed is increased by 30% and it has 32% more HP. Sprout's super is 45% bigger. The poison inflicted by Baron's main attack to players can spread up to 3 players. Any teammates that are in contact with any of Squeak's attacks gain 6% HP. Players frozen by loot take 1100 damage. Wrath recover 45% of his maximum health after killing a player. Fang's super now stuns players for 3 seconds. The stun is distributed equally if there's more than one player. So, example, if there's 3 players, then all the 3 players will have a 1 second stun. Egg Shooter now shoots 4 eggs instead of 3. Janet takes 50% less time to focus and does 9% more damage. Sail covers the player's screen and deals an extra 500 damage. Buster's super is now 14% bigger and does 6% more damage. Gray's main attack changes to the nearest opposite team player and will still retain it for 5 seconds after. RT super has 23% more range. He is also able to spot enemies in bushes from 75% longer than normal. Willow's reload speed is decreased by 18%, and if she uses the dive gadget, she can move while using it at 60% of her normal movement speed. Dark has added some spice to his dogs and it now has become a chili dog because the resurrected targets gain 10% damage boost and a shield of 7% of their maximum health for 3 seconds after being revived. Any enemies hit by Chuck's super gets knocked to the last post place and gets stunned for 0.4 seconds. Charlie's super has 1000 extra health and enemies will be slowed for 2 seconds after exiting the cocoon. Miko's main attack has 12% more damage and 12% more range. Every enemy in her supercharged radius adds 15% to Lily's damage. The total poison damage dealt by Switchblade is combined with Switchblade's base damage. Leon has an increased 15% reload speed and an increased damage boost of 15% while using his super. Enemies receive 1020 damage and are slowed for 0.3 seconds after entering his super. Enemies hit by Torch M, which is Amber's super, who come into contact with teammates, their teammates will receive 75% of Torch M's original damage. Max super knocks back enemies, while in her mech form, she also has a 6% more reload and movement speed. Surge's main attack now does 13% more damage, and when it splits into 2, each one of those split bits does 7% extra damage. Chester takes 14% less damage, and harmful effects work 50% less effective on him as well. Enemies receive damage equivalent to 20% of their current health when entering the Shadow Realm. Kit's unload speed and reload speed is decreased by 18%. His range is also slightly increased. Keep in mind that all these were my takes. You guys can have different opinions and can tell me in the comment section if you want. Also, Draco wasn't released while I was filming this, so that's why he wasn't here. Bye bye!